EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left is my good friend Charles Davis, and what a thrill to be here for the biggest one of them all, the Super Bowl. And it seems to get bigger every year. The lights get brighter. The cameras more numerous. I don't know. There's just so much that goes into this game. It's an honor to be here, isn't it?
It is an honor, and I can't wait to share this game with you. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. You're my partner, my best friend. I can't imagine being anywhere else but right here with you. And just think about it this way. You mentioned the magnitude. This is no longer just a game for America or even North America. This is worldwide. People watching from just about every country in the world. This is impressive.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and just about ready to roll. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Second down, Prescott. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And right away, he lost the football. And the Bills have recovered. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
The good old toss play, and this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side, but the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield, otherwise that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Big Al Woods there to make the tackle. Simeon now on second down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The result, a first down as the quick slant gets him 14.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Oh, how about this on first and goal? And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Out of the gun, Simeon. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. With the first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Bills have taken the early lead.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
We're going to 54. 26.
On second down, Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. The 30, the 20, 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
It's coming now.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Third and long for Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And, Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rear-view mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach the Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now it's Simeon. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Simeon. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
This one away by the punter, Dar. Here's Austin. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
47.
Prescott now on second down. Over the middle, Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. The give is to Elliott. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. Want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. That was second down run for Murray. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss. Another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Third and long. It's Simeon. Hard throw, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And here come the Bills. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So
it's caught inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Murray. He's to the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. With a first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Bills are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Pretty move. And they're running right through it. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football, football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A handoff. It's Murray. And able to work his way down to the 16. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. Blue line.
Now a give. This is Murray. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll fake the handoff. Now Simeon. Got a man. It's Johnson. End zone for a Bills touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There's a lot of debate about who is going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Here we go. Slide in. Here we go. 27. 26.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on 3rd down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Get out, get out.
A first down carry by Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, was the one disrupting there defensively. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Gerald McCoy in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
Swing on the field, right.
A give to Elliott. A little 360. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken at about the 14. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run the counter with Murray. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Bills on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Gone!
10th carry of the game now. Murray. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They pitch it out to Murray. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Gone!
They'll try the air now with Simeon. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Robert Quinn in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Simeon in need of something big following that sack, facing 3rd and long. Back to throw, Simeon. It's caught left side by John Brown. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So we've come upon halftime. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Now Prescott. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out. And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center. And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go. All right, hey.
A handoff left, Elliott. And he loses the football a second time. And the Bills have recovered. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive. Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can
That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Murray. Murray has the first down and more. And he gets this one down to the 24. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down throw, Simeon. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Second down, here's Simeon. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. John Brown, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Bills will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Space to maneuver at the 40. Power up. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 75 yards. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. They got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw on second is Simeon. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end. How about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A toss to Murray. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They go with Murray again, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. This is Murray. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good. Yeah,
just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cooper. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Under.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now Elliott. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The Cowboys on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 47. 26. 26.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down.
Here we go, 46.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Going. He's got it at the 15. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
47.
Again, it's Elliott. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk about football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs,
That big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They go back to Murray on first down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Simeon. Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Simeon, rush coming, and he's taken down. Robert Quinn in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And they had a nice little drive going last time through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. A 20th carry here for Elliott. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down. On the counter, Elliott. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Lorenzo Alexander brings him down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They go to Elliott again. And past the 35. He'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. The give is to Elliott. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Here we go, 47.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 15. One last shot now for Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cobb. And he's got this down to the 35. And these Bills make the 90s seem like a distant memory. Buffalo is the Super Bowl champion. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely